mi gente? It's your boy Dio, and I am out here with the crew at our annual retreat up in the Catskill Mountains. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, Saturday morning. Let me close my visor here, so just in case you guys are hearing a lot of noise. I have a new helmet, so I'm vlogging with it for the first time ever. I don't know how the video will come out, but we shall see. We shall see. But it was a pain setting it up, so if it does work out, I'll make a video about that and how I hooked it up, because it is a modular and the camera is right in the front. So you may be thinking to yourself, how, like, are you using Bluetooth, or like, what are you doing to connect to voice? Not doing none of that, just straight up analog. So anyways, if it does work out, I'll put a video for that separately. But today I actually want to talk about a topic that I've spoken about before, and I remember the comment sections being like, hey man, really, you should you know, I was riding by myself when talking about riding in a group. And of course, you know, it was just all hypothetical. But I'm like, this morning I'm like, oh, wait a second, I'll be riding in a group today, so why not talk about that topic now that we're all together. That way you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Plus, now I have the 360 cam in the back, so hopefully I can get you guys a little bit better perspective and give you guys some of the views. Man, look at the views out here. Sheesh. Wow. And this is all New York, ladies and gentlemen. All New York. So yeah, so riding in a group, guys, is not as easy. Well, let me rephrase it. You can ride in a group and follow no type of rules, no type of whatever, and that's kind of dangerous. You need to know there are certain rules and procedures and hand signals that go along with riding in a group. Riding in an organized group, that is, right? So in an MC, you're always going to be riding in an organized group setting. Much different than riding in a group with just a whole bunch of your buddies, hooligans, whatever you want to call them, just kind of ripping it through and just doing whatever. Oh, that's nice. You know, but in the MC culture, riding in the group is something that we take very seriously. Why? Because, man, if I mess up, I'm putting their lives in danger. If they mess up, they're putting my life in danger, or the danger of, you know, all the other members and brothers, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We want to make sure that we're communicating, even without being able to communicate verbally. We have hand signals for that, right? So at all times we know where we're going, no surprises, and even if there is a surprise and we have to make a stop, the road captain, which is all the way on the front right of the crew right now, he'll give us a signal, and we'll pass that signal all the way to the back, and everybody is aware of what's happening. Nobody's, unless you're not paying attention, you know, you're gonna be okay. But another thing of riding in a group, you gotta be paying attention. So I don't even know, I'm not gonna phrase this into like the 5 must things to do. I'm gonna just talk about what things that come to mind. And again, I will say the first thing to note is you got to be able to communicate through hand signals. You got to know the hand signals. If you don't, then you'll just be like a sitting duck, and you'll be reacting versus being proactive about certain things. Like, and I'll try to call it out as I see it, but basically, if I'm pointing, if the road captain points with his left hand to the bottom left or to the left, that means we're making a left turn, right? And we pass that signal all the way to the back. If we're making a right turn, you're basically making a right angle with your left arm, holding your fist up, and that means we're making a right turn. If you see somebody sticking out their foot to the floor, that means there's a hazard on the floor, and you have to be careful, right? So we'll all stick our leg out just like that, and and everybody else will be careful, basically, right? So there's a lot of hand signals, a lot of yeah, you see. So now, right now, the president wants to record us, so he's giving us a signal to go. He has one of those cameras also. Nice. So he has the Insta360 as well. But yeah, so we're recording. Where was I? So communication is I would say the main thing. Once you know the hand signals and whatever other comms they want to give you, it's also good for you to know how to keep your lane. And what do I mean by that, right? So there are 3 positions within a lane on a motorcycle. There's the left side, there is the middle, and then there's the right, like how he is right now. And I'm gonna skip to this portion since it's happening right now, but riding bar to bar, that's a skill. You can't just go up bar to bar riding with somebody you have no idea who it is, you know. And by the way, shout out to the road captain for being in the video. Man, he rides with us all the time. That's BK Lowe's dad, good friend of ours for many years. But yeah, so riding bar to bar, it's another thing. I'll talk about that in a second. But keeping your lane is most important, right? You got to know how to keep your lane. Why? Because of situations like that when we're riding bar to bar. For the most part, if you guys can see ahead of me, we're riding staggered. Road captain is up front, then every other position is right behind them in a staggered formation. Unless the road captain signals number 1 right above his helmet, we won't get in single file. That means single file, and we should just kind of give each other space, which we kind of really should be doing around this road. It's kind of narrow, very twisty. We'll be good to be riding single file, but whatever. We've been riding this road a very long time. We know it pretty well, so not necessary. Plus, none of us are really going too crazy fast. But keeping your lane is important, guys. If you don't know, and the way to practice it, this is the way I do it. When I'm riding alone, I pick a lane, depending on the situation, but I pick a lane. I usually never really ride in the middle, because it's not first of all, it's not really a position you're riding in when you're riding in a group. The only person really in the middle is the tail gunner, which is all the way in the back, and you see that Steven is that position. And watch it, this is gravel road right here. Sheesh. Alright, cool. Yep, everybody's good. You see, we give the thumbs up. Everybody's signaling we're good. But yeah, so in the staggered formation, nobody's really in the middle, right? So when I'm riding alone and I want to practice this, I either pick the left lane and I just stick to it. Whether I'm going through curves, I'm going wherever, I'm sticking to that left lane. Then if I want to be more visible and I want to see I want the other vehicles to see me, I'm sticking to the right lane, right? And it comes in handy, like in this situation where we're riding bar to bar, he's sticking to his right lane and I'm sticking to my left lane, right? So there's no issues, right? So, and we have that trust already, that we know we're gonna be sticking to our lane, we're not riding erratically, and so on and so forth. You got to know who to do that with, right? So even within your own club, there's different riding capabilities and different riding levels. So my brother Mark here, Elmo, he just got that bike. He's not super confident in it. He's told us already. So as you guys can see, I'm kind of hanging back a little bit. I'm not really riding bar to bar with him. Plus, we're in staggered formation anyways. But even if we weren't, I'll kind of give myself some space and give him some space. That way he can really get used to his bike and be okay with it without the pressure of me being like right up next to him. So these are things you learn, guys. It's actually a skill, right? So that's what riding in a group is really a skill. You got to develop it. You have to practice it. You stick to your lane, right? So right now I'm sticking to my left lane. And no matter what I'm doing, curving left, right, the other, I'm trying to maintain that lane as best as possible. So that was another portion of it, right? You got to maintain your lane because of these situations, right? So what else is important in riding in the group? We spoke about communication. We spoke about keeping your lane. I would say the other more important thing is right now it really doesn't matter because it's a 1-lane road. We're the only ones out here really. But when you're in a major highway, 3-lane highway, 4-lane highway, you cannot leave space in between. That is a big no. The road captain sets the speed based on the experience of the riders behind us. So he's supposed to know like our capabilities. And he's gonna know, hey, can I go a $120 or should I take it a little easier, you know, and go at a slower speed, right? Or whatever the speed it is you're going. So we cannot leave space. Why? Why can't we leave space, guys? I mean, it's, again, this is something it really doesn't even matter when you're riding alone. But when you're riding in a crew, you want that crew to stay together. You don't want 2 guys up front, then somebody cuts you in between, then you have a random ass car in between you, then you got 2 more guys behind you. No, so that is a recipe for disaster, right? Because guess what happens after that? The guys in the back, they want to catch up, so they'll start going faster, weaving in and out of traffic, and now you're putting yourself in a situation where you can potentially get hurt, which is definitely not the case, right? When we ride out here, we want to make sure we're safe. We want to ride together. We want to come back home to our families, right? So we don't want to be in that predicament. So just don't do it to yourself. Don't leave space in between the other guy. So with that, the road captain is going to set the pace, and you need to know how to maintain that pace. You can't be rubber banding, right? Slowing down, picking up, slowing. No. You got to know how to maintain pace. Otherwise, like he'll come to you, like, or the tail gunner will say, yo, dude, you got to move up, or you got to come back, etc., etc., right? So we're looking for each other's safety here. Shit, if I even see it, I'll tell him, like, dude, you got to stop doing that, you know, like we got to maintain the speed. But you don't want to leave any open spaces, because cars can and they will cut you off. They really don't care. I've seen it happen so many times. You know, it sucks to admit it, but it's happened to us primarily when we're kind of going in and out of ramps on into the highways and stuff. So yeah, it happens, but not ideal, right? So look, this curve happened. He went from the right. He went from all the way to from the right to all the way to my lane, the left, right? So his lane is really the right lane, so they moved over. Same thing with the rider in the front. He's been kind of shifting around as well. So this is why you need to know the capability of your other brothers, and especially going through turns and stuff like that. You just need to know. Okay. Communication 1. We spoke about the lane positioning 2. Knowing about your rider and your brother's capabilities, or whoever you're riding in the group's capabilities. 3rd was leaving space in between. And then I'm gonna end it with a 4th one, because all this stuff doesn't even matter if you're not paying attention. Riding in the group doesn't mean you can just whatever, be in your thoughts. I know riding is therapy for a lot of us. We ride and we wanna, you know, it's wind therapy. We ride and we think about whatever the hell we're thinking about. Do that when you're by yourself, right? Because when you're in a group, there's no room for error. Shit happens out of nowhere. So you need to be paying attention, because then, again, you put in danger your brothers or your fellow riders, and that's not something you want. Now, look at this little thing happening over here. Very nice, very nice. Conesville Fire Department. Very cool. But yeah, guys, so listen, I'm gonna cut it there. There's no need to elaborate this video even more, but again, we spoke about it, just a couple things, 3 main things, and the 4th one is just paying attention. You can't be daydreaming out on the road, because then all the other stuff, you may miss a signal, you may scoot too far back and then let a car in. You can't be in your own world, right? You gotta be in the present. You have to be paying attention. So Listen, take that with a grain of salt. You know, I've been riding now in a club scenario for, I can't even, maybe 8 years at this point. I didn't even, before I even learned to ride alone, I was already mixed in with the MC culture. So I've only really picked up good habits, and I've seen very bad habits too. Don't get me wrong, it's not like we're all perfect and we're all, oh, the perfect rider. No, there's a lot of wrong things that happen as well when we correct them as we see them. But for the most part, riding alone or riding in a group that is not organized, it is not the same as riding with a real, true, traditional motorcycle club. So anyways, guys, I'll leave it at that. If you're interested in learning more, shoot me a message. Let me know what your experiences have been riding with a group. I can tell you many more stories of riding in groups that were not MC related. And if you scroll a couple of years, not a couple of years at this point, maybe like 6 years back, you can see a very own group ride that I led with BK Low of XDLS Brooklyn. That was not an MC ride. It was like 100 of us, but we kind of followed some of the similar or same rules, so which was good, right? So anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys' support. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to like and subscribe. And catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.